Imagine this. You and your best friend are the same age. You shake hands today. Then your friend gets into a spaceship and flies away at nearly the speed of light. They come back. You're old. They're still young. No magic. No science fiction. Just how time really works. Most people think time is simple. 1 second, then another, ticking the same for everyone, everywhere. But nature doesn't work that way. According to Albert Einstein, time is not universal. It bends, it stretches, and at high speeds it slows down. Let's see why. Time depends on motion. That's it. That single sentence changes everything. In everyday life, we move so slowly compared to the speed of light that time looks absolute. But when something starts moving really fast in the air, light speed time behaves very strangely. Let's try something very simple. Not complicated, not technical, just honest. Imagine a clock. Not the kind on your wall, not gears, not springs, just light. Two mirrors facing each other. A single pulse of light bouncing between them. Bounce up, tick. Bounce down, talk. That's it. Each bounce is 1 second. This is the simplest clock the universe allows, because light never cheats. Now here's the important part. This clock works anywhere. At the edge of the universe. So we trust it. Now place this light clock on a spaceship. The ship is floating quietly in space. Nothing special yet. Inside the ship, the clock behaves normally. Tick, tock, light goes straight up, straight down. Time feels ordinary. Now, let's move the ship faster and faster and faster and faster, talk, until it's moving close to the speed of light. Still, inside the ship, nothing strange happens. The astronaut watches the light bounce. Tick, tock, tick. Everything feels normal. No slowing, no distortion, no warning signs. This is crucial, because nature never tells you you're moving. Imagine you're floating in space, watching the ship fly past. You don't see the light going straight up and down. You see something different. The light goes diagonally. Up, forward, down, forward, a zigzag. The light travels farther, longer distance, same speed. What must change? Time. It has no choice. The light refuses to go faster. The mirrors refuse to move slower. So time stretches, not a little, exactly as much as needed. To you, watching from outside, that clock is running slow. Tick, tock. The clock didn't malfunction. It didn't fall behind. Time itself slowed down. Now pause here. This is where most people try to escape. They say, well, that's just how it looks. No. This is not appearance. This is measurement. If you compare clocks later, when the ship returns, the difference remains. Time itself passed differently. That's the shock. Here is the uncomfortable part. From inside the ship, the astronaut sees your clock running slow. Both of you are right. Both of you are honest. And neither of you is privileged. There is no master clock. No universal now. Time does not sit above the universe. Time lives inside it. Push this further. Make the ship go faster, closer to light speed. The diagonal path grows longer. Time stretches more. Seconds become minutes. Minutes become hours. Approach the speed of light, and time nearly stops. From your perspective, the astronaut becomes frozen. From their perspective, nothing unusual. Their heart beats. Their thoughts flow. Their clock ticks normally. Time doesn't slow for you, it slows between you. This is the deepest lesson. Time is not what you feel. Time is what you measure. And measurement depends on motion. Now, imagine the limit. At the speed of light itself, the path is infinite. Time collapses. From light's point of view, no before, no after, no waiting, only arrival. That's why nothing with mass can reach light speed. To do so would mean stepping outside time itself. And nature forbids it. This is why Albert Einstein didn't just change physics. He changed the meaning of now. Time is not a river flowing everywhere the same. It's a fabric. And motion pulls it tight. Remember, that ticking sound is not universal. It depends on how you move through the universe. Time is not passing. You are. Let me tell you about a trap, not a human trap, a cosmic trap. A rule so strict that once you accept it, time has no choice but to slow down. Here's the rule. The speed of light is the same for everyone. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how fast you're moving, doesn't matter where you measure it from, light always goes at the same speed. That sounds harmless. It isn't. Imagine you're standing still watching a beam of light travel straight up and down between two mirrors. Up, down, tick, tock. Now imagine that same clock moving sideways fast, very fast. To the person moving with the clock, nothing changes. The light still goes straight up and down, tick, tock. But to you, watching it fly past, the light doesn't go straight anymore. It goes diagonally, longer path, same speed. And here's where nature tightens the noose. Light refuses to speed up. It refuses to slow down. It will not negotiate. So if the distance gets longer and the speed stays fixed, only one thing can change. Time. It must stretch. There is no alternative. This isn't a trick of perspective. This isn't an illusion. This is accounting. Distance divided by speed equals time. You don't get to argue with arithmetic. Now try to escape. You might say, okay, then the light moves faster inside the moving clock. No. Nature says no. Every experiment ever done says no. This is the core discovery of Albert Einstein. Light speed is sacred. Break that rule, and physics collapses. So instead, time pays the price. The faster you move, the longer the light's path, the slower your clock ticks, the younger you become compared to those left behind. Not because time feels slower, but because time is slower. Push this further. Move faster. Closer to the speed of light. The path stretches more. Time stretches more. Seconds turn into minutes. Minutes turn into hours. Approach light speed and time nearly freezes. From the outside, you slow to a crawl. From the inside, everything feels normal. Your heart beats. Your thoughts flow. Your clock ticks calmly. That's the final insult. Time doesn't warn you when it's slowing. This is why nothing with mass can reach the speed of light. To do so would require time to stop completely, and stopping time would require infinite energy. Nature draws the line. So here's the truth most people miss. Time does not slow because you move fast. You move fast because time is allowed to bend. The universe protects the speed of light and sacrifices time instead. That's not science fiction. That's the rule book of reality. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's drop the theory for a moment. No thought experiments, no imaginary spaceships. This actually happened. Right now, above your head, astronauts orbit Earth aboard the International Space Station. They're not teleporting. They're not bending space-time with machines. They're just moving very fast, about 28,000 kilometers per hour. That's fast enough to do something unsettling. It makes them age slower than you. Not in a poetic way, not in a metaphor. Literally, here is the strange. The astronauts don't feel younger. Their hearts beat normally. Not in lots sass. Their thoughts flow normally. Their watches tick like yours. Nothing feels different. And yet when they come back to Earth and compare clocks, they've lived slightly less time than we have. Milliseconds. Tiny, but real. This isn't guessed. It's measured. Atomic clocks so precise, they lose less than a second. Over millions of years were sent into orbit. One stayed on Earth. One flew with the astronauts. When they were reunited, they disagreed. The one that traveled fast had ticked fewer times. Time itself had slowed down. This is the part that should bother you. Nature didn't round it away. It didn't forgive the difference. It kept perfect accounts. Every fraction of a nanosecond mattered. You might think, well, that's just because they're far away. No. Altitude causes a different effect. Gravity speeds their clocks up. Motion slows them down. On the space station, both effects happen at once, and when you add them together, motion wins. The astronauts still age less. This is the quiet proof. Relativity isn't dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. It whispers through clocks that refuse to agree. So the next time someone says, Time is the same for everyone. Remember this, there are people who left Earth, came back, and lived less time than you did while they were gone. No paradox, no illusion, just speed. That's not science fiction. That's your universe. Running audits, down to the last tick. Now let's stop being gentle. Let's push this idea until it breaks. Imagine a spaceship, not crawling through space racing. Faster than anything humans have ever built. Faster and faster and faster, approaching the ultimate limit. The speed of light. At first, nothing dramatic happens. Your clock still ticks, your heart still beats, your thoughts still flow. Inside the ship, life feels normal. That's the first trick. Nature never warns you, but outside everything changes. As your speed increases, something strange begins to happen. Time slows down. Not symbolically, not emotionally, physically. Each second stretches longer than the one before. From the outside, you begin to lag behind the universe. Push faster. Now movement itself becomes expensive. Every extra bit of speed demands more energy than the last. Not twice as much, not 10 times as much, exponentially more. It's as if the universe is pushing back. Harder. And harder. And here's where it gets unsettling. As you approach light speed, your mass appears to increase. You don't feel heavier. But to the universe, you resist acceleration more and more. You're not turning into matter. You're turning into inertia. Motion itself begins to fail. Now go closer, closer still. At 99.9% the speed of light, time crawls. From the outside, your ship looks frozen in slow motion. Light from your headlights struggles to escape. The universe starts to ignore you, and then reach the edge. The speed of light itself. What happens there? Time breaks. At light speed, time would stop. Not slow, not stretch. Stop. From the point of view of light, there is no journey, no waiting, no before, no after. The moment light is created is the moment it arrives. Only now. Eternal. Instant. This is why nothing with mass can ever reach light speed. To do so would require infinite energy. And infinite energy is nature's way of saying no. The universe has speed limits. And they are absolute. This isn't a technicality. It's the spine of reality itself. When Albert Einstein uncovered this, he didn't just rewrite equations. He revealed a truth so uncomfortable we still resist it. Time is not guaranteed. It depends on how you move. Harris, where reality stops being polite. You're on Earth. Your friend is in a spaceship moving near the speed of light. You look at that clock. It's slow. Seconds stretch. Minutes drag. You say, your time is running slower than mine. That sounds reasonable. But now listen carefully. Inside the spaceship, your friend looks back at Earth. They see your clock running slow. And they say the same thing. Your time is running slower than mine. Now wait. Both of you are watching real clocks. Both of you are measuring honestly. Neither of you is confused. Neither of you is lying. So who is right? The answer is uncomfortable. Both of you are. This is not a paradox. It's a warning. There is no universal clock ticking behind the scenes. No referee time. Time does not belong to space. Time is woven into it. And motion changes how it's woven. Each of you lives inside your own frame of reference. Inside your frame, your clock behaves normally. Inside theirs, their clock behaves normally. The universe does not choose a favorite. It does not say, this one is really slow. It only says, within each moving frame, the laws of physics must agree. This is the insight that broke reality open. When Albert Einstein realized this, he didn't ask, who is actually right? He asked a better question, how can both be right and the universe still make sense? And the answer was devastatingly simple. There is no absolute now. Simultaneity itself breaks. Events you think happen at the same time do not happen at the same time for someone moving differently. The universe does not share moments equally. This is why arguments about real time fail. Time is not what everyone agrees on. Time is what your motion allows you to measure. So when one clock slows and the other does too, That's not contradiction. That's reality refusing to pick a single viewpoint. And this leads to the final shock. If you want an absolute clock, you won't find one. Not on Earth, not in space, not anywhere. Only perspectives, only motion, only frames. Time doesn't ask who's right. It asks how fast you're moving. And then it answers accordingly. Moving frames who is right. Here's the part that hurts your brain. From your perspective, their clock runs slow. From their perspective, your clock runs slow. Both are right. There is no absolute now. Only frames of reference. Reality doesn't pick sides. It obeys equations. This isn't just about spaceships. It tells us something profound. Time is not the stage where the universe happens. Time is part of the universe itself, flexible, dynamic, alive.